Hey folks, back here with you guys. Urban Gardener DC. It's been a little bit of a while. It's mid-October. What's today? 19th, 18th, something like that. No, yeah, 18th. But as you see, a lot of garden stuff still. Tomatoes and other stuff. I mean, we've had temperatures down into the 40s, even into the upper 30s in the last couple weeks. And if I just pan around, give you guys an idea, definitely need a lot of weeds removed from the pathways and such. But a lot of the garden is still doing fairly well. As you know, this time of year, the sun is very, very southern. And for that reason, I'll try to stay within sun range for you guys. But what I wanted to talk about is this bed right here. It's a 4-foot by 8-foot bed. Another community member had this bed all summer long. They decided they're not going to renew and come back next season, so I started to dig it all up, get all the weeds out. And what I found, I have one here and I'll show you guys in a second what I ended up digging up, but they had planted a whole bunch of not red, but like a white russet sized potato. So I actually have been enjoying the potatoes for the last probably 2 weeks now, where somebody's planting benefited me, and that's where I'm able to dig this up and now get started with our next crop, which I'll show you. I just received in the mail latter part of last week from Johnny's, which is a forum onion set number 2520, and there was 100 of them in this bag that I decided to take out, put in a box just to keep the airflow. And then I have the jig that I created back in the spring, which is this, if I can get it out with one hand. And this jig right here, I'm going to go ahead and get my seed onion in this bed. This jig will actually do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 at a time. I'm not going to use the whole depth of it, but to give you an idea, I'm able to just come in, press down into the soil, and now I have 12 perfect holes for me to now plant these onion sets. So I'm not familiar with this variety, Forum. It's the earliest bulb onion, so my plan here is for this bed, it's not going to be occupied between now and the spring, because we do our renewals here at the community garden in April. We've already communicated with other people in the garden to find out if people are going to be renewing or not, just to give us an idea. And as I said, this one bed, which gets great sunlight. I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun is straight up in the sky here. So for the fall and winter, this bed's going to get plenty of sunlight for that purpose. So I'm going to get them in the ground today. It's mid-October, as I said. Get those planted here and let them overwinter. They're going to probably start to sprout in February. Very similar to like a lot of garlics. They like to be overwintered. You know, you can obviously do them in the spring and harvest them in the late summer or midsummer. But for purposes here, because this bed is going to be dormant per se, nobody's occupying this bed, I wanted to get something in the soil. The previous bed of potatoes probably, help with some of the nutrients in the soil. I'm going to obviously fertilize this at some point. I'll probably do a water soluble once I get all these planted. I don't want to get them too wet right now. Get those set. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my jig and come back to you. I now have 12, 24, 36. I now have 48 onions that are packed in 3 inches across from each other. Makes it real simple to use this jig. You just press them down. All I'm gonna do is come in here and get that soil over top of those bulbs. I only have them in the ground about 2 inches. So they'll take seed in the next couple weeks, hopefully start to sprout, maybe like around February. But we're just gonna do a real light dusting over top, and then I'll water them in. We're not expecting any rain anytime soon, so can't do too much harm by watering them in. Just a little bit to get them acclimated. And I'm gonna use this here as my guide so I know where, because we've had the problem here in this garden, as you've all seen in other videos, with the squirrels and the squirrels digging. So I'm actually going to lay some chicken wire, like those hexagon mesh metal wire. I'm gonna lay that across here, probably put some boards down so that at least for the next month or two, while the squirrels are still searching for food, they don't come in here and start digging up these onion sets. And then I probably have enough to do about half of this bed. And then I just received my garlic from Fillery Farms just what was it, Monday? No, Tuesday. Today's Friday. So that's hanging up in my garage. I'll get that maybe out here next week. It might be a little early for the garlic. You don't want your garlic to sprout too soon and then the frost and super cold come in. Garlic really needs to harden off, so I like to do it around October 31st, around Halloween. In this zone here, zone 7, that's worked best for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that wire mesh down and get some water on here quickly, and then probably do 4 more rows of 12, which will gobble up that 100 pack of seed that I just got from Territorial, and we'll be off to running. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll come right back. All right, so I have my wire mesh down, and then I just supported it with 2 boards just on either side just to keep that flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and water it in here with this water soluble fertilizer. It's a 20-20-20 for NP and K. It's called Power Pack, made by Southern AG. I've seen a lot of good success with this. This one little bag, what is this, 1 pound? I have probably not even used half of this whole bag the entire summer. So it's obviously high NP and K. So I've only used it maybe once a month. But to water this in for the season, can't hurt to add some liquid fertilizer in here to get these onion sets started. And I don't want to flood it. I'm only putting a gallon of water in this whole patch area, just not to oversaturate it. Just want to let it sit, let it absorb in, and then I'll do another watering over top. But this hexagon wire is perfect for ground vegetables like this because of our squirrel problem here. The squirrels just love to dig, and this is just an added deterrent for them. We've used that chicken wire and deer netting and other stuff just to help us along. You know, you're not going to get rid of the thousands and thousands of squirrels that we have here, or anywhere for that matter. But just real simply, almost done. I just put 1 gallon, just did a small water-soluble mix. Once again, those onion sets are only about 2 inches underneath the soil. I'm gonna go ahead and probably do the same thing on the opposite end of the bed down here. Do another row of 48 over there. Then I'll probably put garlic in the middle. I have a little bit of time. I have a couple weeks before I need garlic in. Don't want to put that in too early because you really want that garlic, as I've said, you really want that garlic to harden off. So guys, I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. It's a real simple way to do a fall crop, winter crop, where you know, you're not able in our climate in zone 7, yeah, tomatoes, as you see over here, are still flourishing a little bit, but they're going to be gone with the first frost. So getting these in not too early. It's mid-October. Get them in, get some fertilizer on them, and these onion sets should do very, very well based on the location of this bed. Next up, I'm actually working on the garlic, the collards, the broccoli. A lot of that stuff is germinated. I'll take you back to my garage quickly, show you what I already have, and then hopefully this weekend we'll get more of that stuff out here in the garden as well. So guys, do me a favor, if you like this content, or this content has given you some good information, or just allowing me to share what I'm doing in my community garden, please give us a thumbs up, like the content, subscribe to the channel if you want, and I'll see you guys on the next one.